Right, hello everybody. So I was going through some photos on my phone the other day and I remembered that last year I managed to win the Champions League with Wycombe Wanderers in a long-term save. So I just wanted to today have a quick look at this save because I completely forgot this existed. Go through how I did each year, go through the signings I made, it could be considered a guide of sorts, showing you how I was able to take a League One team and get them to the Champions League. I also believe we won the Carabao Cup. So, as you can see, we are in 2027. I am in the Premier League. I am in 6th place. I'm also in the European Champions Cup, which is the Champions League before I've got the rights. I finished second in the European Super Cup, FA Cup, but Carabao Cup don't particularly matter. But if we look at Carabao Cup, title holders are Wycombe. And if we look at the European Champions Cup, the title holders are Wycombe. But first, let's go through my schedule and go to the very first season, 21-22. So we were in League One, and if I remember correctly, we barnstormed through the league. As you can see, there's a lot of green. We got to the Papa John's Trophy semi-final where we lost to Sheffield Wednesday. However, we did, as far as I am aware, win the Sky Bet League One on our first time of asking. If we view match, I'm not able to get full details. Okay. However, you can see Daryl Horgan, Josh Gowan scored, Sam Vokes and Sully Kai, Sam Vokes and Ronan Curtis. We can actually go back if we look at our transfers in for that season, see who we brought in. So, a lot of loans, to be fair. Not all of these came in at the same time. So we have Omar Rekic, James Onakaya, Solomon Balogun, who this season had an exceptional season down at Stade Rennes. Lavernia, Ronan Curtis on loan, Cotterill, Anish Mehmeti. So, Anish Mehmeti, fantastic player for us. In this age, he's been around. We sold him for free. I don't believe that. I do not believe we sold him. We sold him for 3.5 million to Burnley and they offered him a loan back, which I accepted. That was really important money for the club. As you can see, Tom Hammer from Burton, actually, before we were supposed to be interested in him. Jamal Blackman. A lot of these players. The big ones were Noel Lopez in from Coronia B, who, if you look, looks like a good striker. He came in for a season. He went out on loan to Mould because he didn't have a work permit, came back in, and for 4 seasons he did play fairly regularly. Scored 13 goals, 19 goals, and 10 goals in the Premier League before being sold to Zenit St. Petersburg for 11.5 million. But the big one was Xavi Simons. That Xavi Simons, in this FM, you could buy him for about 450k. In this case, I bought him for about 500k. And you can see he was with us for a lot of seasons, playing many games, getting 13 goals and 14 assists, 13 goals and 14 assists, 5 goals and 10 assists, doing very, very well before being sold to Hertha Berlin for 32 million. So, then season 2 in the Championship was... So we had our first season in the Championship, and very surprisingly, we got promoted. Our very first season in Championship. You can see here we had a fantastic run of form coming into the end. Essentially the same team. Sully Kai's there. Noel Lopez, who I mentioned, Mika Bayreff came in on loan from Arsenal. Was very good at the time, but not so good now. Xavi Simons, Anthony Stewart, Mika Bayreff, Xavi Simons, Piovi, who's Richmond Tashi? Looks like a solid, if unspectacular striker. We got into the playoff semi-finals. We won 2-1 away from home against Watford and drew 1-1 at home with a 94th minute goal And then we beat Barnsley 3-1 in the Championship, meaning within 2 years we had got Wycombe promoted to the Premier League. And this was a very difficult year. You can see there is a lot of red. I was not okay. I still can't. Okay, that's annoying. However, towards the end of the season, we picked up just enough results, including a big draw against against Chelsea, a win against Brighton, a win against Newcastle, a win against West Ham. You can see we got beat by Man City 2-8. But we made it over the line. We had to draw or beat Bournemouth and hoped another team lost, and they did. And then after this, the Premier League got a little bit easier. You can see towards the end of the season, we're getting more wins in the door. 25, 26, you can see we're starting to really have a good chance at the Premier League. I think I can actually view match now by the looks of it. Playing a very traditional 4-3-3, some of the big players coming in. Daniel Rugani, I'll show you some of these players later. And then 26, 27, the season before this, we did pretty well in the Premier League. I believe we finished 7th. But if we look, Champions League. So we played Bayern, Real San Sebastian and Zebra, Juventus. This is before the change in how the Champions League will work come in. We lost to Bayern away, smashed Real San Sebastian at home and beat Zebra away, beat Juventus again at home, lost to Real San Sebastian, but beat Bayern Munich at home. We went into the first knockout round leg where we drew 0-0 away from home, but beat RB Leipzig 4-0. An emphatic victory. We then played Bayern Munich. We drew at home, and I was quite concerned the last time we played Bayern Munich. Away from home, we had been beat 3-1, but we came out and jobbed at beating them 4-0. If we look, Reda Chafik has an 8.4 average. They had 10 shots on target, and Reda Chafik was on another planet. If you look here, he is just a very, very solid goalkeeper. Very good physicals for a goalkeeper. Good mentally. Very excellent decision making. Good aerially. Good teamwork. He's just very solid at everything and with great potential. I picked him up on a free transfer. Whenever I won the Champions League, he then started trying to get a bigger move to Manchester United. They have more reputation than Manchester United, fair enough. So I let him go £59 million. You can see by the age of 20, he has 53 caps. He had something like 20 caps when he joined me at 17. It would have been 17 or 18. We then played Barcelona. We won in both legs fairly easily. And then the Champions League final. So this is not how we lined out. As you can see, Antonio Rudiger is not a right wing. We played a 5-2-1-2. I believe that Lopez was up front with Kevin McCabe. The reason was City were playing a 4-4-2. They have very, very good players. Singo, Diaz, Gomez, Laporte, Edison, Sterling, De Bruyne, Bellingham, Romero, who I'm not aware of who that is. I'm not sure who that is, but he looks very good. And Erling Haaland and Dusan Vlahovic up front. But I reckon that with such a weak midfield, De Bruyne is old. He's 36. He's still fairly quick, but he's not as fast as he was. And Jude Bellingham cannot mark the 5 players going through the centre all on his own. And as you can see, it was an even battle. We had a goal conceded for offside. So today, Haaland and Sterling both shot for offside. I thought it would be going to extra time. However, if we wait for this to load, in the 96th minute, veteran centre-back Daniel Rugani scored from a corner to make Wycombe Wanderers the champions of Europe. Which was just insane. This season as well, I believe we also won the Carabao Cup. See, we got West Brom in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, beat them quite convincingly. Runar Overvik was an excellent striker who never performed very well. Got 10 goals in his first season, got 5 goals in his second season. Arsenal, under Mikel Arteta, came in for him for 80 million. I said yes. Now, me and Mikel Arteta have a lot of beef in this save. I loaned in one of his players in the Championship, Mika Bayrev, but because of no Lopez playing as a striker, I pushed him to be a left winger as an inside forward. Mikel Arteta did not take kindly to this, and since then we have, to put it bluntly, hated each other. I digress. He came in for my player, and I wasn't going to be stubborn. I wasn't going to be rude. I let him go for a fair bit of money. That'll come in relevant later. So the Carabao Cup, the first leg, we drew 2-2 with Tottenham. You can see I'm actually playing a fairly rotated team. A lot of these players would not start for me. And in the second leg, we smashed them 5-0. So we go through the Carabao Cup semi-final. We put out our strongest team, Reda Chafik, Gian, and we win 2-1, beating our major rivals. So it has been an excellent season. I'll go through a lot of my players and show you who I've got. So I've got Leandro, who looks like a solid left wing back, fairly quick, good dribbling, decent going forward, not amazing tackling and marking, but he's solid. Barlow, who is a Australian wonder kid goalkeeper. He's got very good reflexes, very good one-on-ones, a bit less well-rounded than Reda Chafik, but I brought him in as a backup for 1.5 million. He went out on loan, and when he came back, he went out on loan, and I think I recalled him because I sold Reda Chafik. He just looks quite solid. Navratil, one of the best players in my team, absolutely amazing. Apart from his aggression, there isn't a single one of those stats that is necessary for a ball-playing defender. You can see very expensive. Brought in for 4.3 million, and he has just performed very, very solid for us. And Alessio Benelli, very big potential, 20 years old. He's a squad player, but I'm playing him regularly. He also looks very good, a bit more well-rounded mentally. Very good with both feet. I think he just looks excellent. Gian is one of my long-term serving players. He's been here for 4 years now and has done phenomenally. In his first season, he got 2 goals and 2 assists. He got 7 assists in his second season. The season before this, he got 2 goals and 10 assists in 24 Premier League matches. He is absolutely fantastic. Leon Wolf is, simply put, one of the great wonder kids of this save. And I went in for him after losing a couple of players, selling some. I spent 77 million on him. But I think as a defensive deep line playmaker, good technique, very good passing, great vision, great anticipation, good first touch. He's good at essentially everything, apart from corners, crossing, work rate, long throws, heading, and penalty taking. Everything else he's extremely good at. He can play in any number of positions, and he is just simply excellent. Terje Linderod, who was kind of an unusual player because he can play in so many different positions. I never know which position was right for him, but he does put in a solid shift at every position. You can see he's played as a right back, a centre back, a right midfielder, a centre mid, and he does theoretically very well in all those positions. Pedro Goncalves is one of the few real players I have. Just a very good Salah, good technique, just very, very solid. I think I brought him in from Newcastle for 36 million, 11 goals and 5 assists in 24 games. I think he has proved his outlay, he's proved his worth. Lopez is one of my other great servants. He has also served for 4 years. He has rejected offers from Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain in favour of staying at Wycombe. That will be tested again because Hertha Berlin, they're fine. As you can see, very solid. He wants a new contract. I can give him a new contract. I won't be coming back to the save. But you can see, didn't do too amazing. 2 goals and 9 assists in his first year. Sorry about that. The postman came out to go and answer the door. So he did very well, 8 goals and 6 assists, then 15 goals and 8 assists last season. He is phenomenal. Love it. One that I didn't plan to play, but actually when I looked at him, I realised how good he actually was. Amazing Holy Trinity, very good technique, good mentally where it matters, very good physicals, 19 pace he is. Dangerous going behind a man. I believe I signed him for 575k from Swindon. Went on loan to League 2 until I realised, hold on, this guy is actually kind of insane. And then my striker, yes, that is Harry Kane. He was leaving on a free transfer from Tottenham. I thought he has good natural fitness. He's still very, very good. At worst, I can move him into like an advanced playmaker on a Ganche. Yeah, it's Harry Kane. Of course I'm going to take him. Other players, Loisel, Callum Doyle, Brandon Williams, Hugh Wieke, Kevin McCabe is a big one. He is my Irish wonder kid striker. Looks pretty solid, very good potential. I think he's got, 181 potential. He was second in the next gen list, being called Irish Mbappe. I think that's a bit much. Other players of note, I believe Loisel was fourth in the next gen. Just a very good player. A bit small to be a centre back, but can rotate very well. Has played a few games for us, came in for 7.25 million. He's now worth 45. That is probably what I have done the majority of the time, trying to bring in low and sell high. Let's go to the final season, if it will let me. So this season, for example, I signed Leon Wolf for a lot. Luis Enrique, good ball-winning midfielder, can sort of do a lot of things fairly well. Good potential at only 19. Alex Scott, not that one, came in from Man City, homegrown sort of player, very quick. Alex Scott, Craig Laycott came in, very good advanced forward, went back on loan to Preston, 21 years old, good potential. Probably won't reach it, but I can sell him on for a fee. And you can see Billy Goldmore went out, Joe Calistri, Masick and Binney, they were all rotation options, nothing exceptional. But they had came in, they had rotated, I sold them for larger fees. So Binney came in a free, sold for 13 million. Jerry Masick came in, he was actually a decent ball-winning midfielder. Came in for 5 million, went on loan, played half a year, went to Montpellier on loan, and then sold for 17.5 million. And you can see this happening over and over again. Billy Gilmore came in on 16.25 million, played really well for a couple of seasons, then I sold him on because I simply had better players coming through. And it's something you'll see time and time again, me bringing in low players and trying to sell them for higher fees. Runar Ovic went out for 80 million, Xavi Simons, Noel Lopez, Pablo Figueroa, Paddy. This is just a constant thing that's happening. You can say there's some players that I did spend. I spent 15 million on Antonio Rudiger. Was it 15 million? 13 million. He was 33 and it goes, okay, he's got really good natural fitness. He'll probably want to play for a while. He retired immediately after on the Champions League. I mean, I understand, to be fair, but come on, man. That's just rude. I did always try and get some older players in. You can see Hakim Ziyech came in. Rudiger came in. Trying to see who else came in. Some of the older players to provide experience. Gini Wijnaldum came in. Matteo Politano. Biragi. Season before, I believe I had Solly March comes in. Daniel Lugani, absolute legend. He's still with us. He's a squad player. He's not improved, but I'm not going to get rid of him anytime soon because he is just fantastic. So yeah, that was it. I'm not going to go through everything. I just thought it was very interesting to have a quick look at it. Otherwise, I hope you have a lovely day.